Hey, what's going on everyone? Welcome back to the channel. I greatly appreciate you guys being here. In today's video, I'll be going over this recent edit that I made by changing the Mortal Kombat 11 roster from vertical to horizontal. So without further ado, let's go over this awesome edit. Let's do this. Before we get into today's video, I'd like to give a huge shout out to today's video sponsor, which is Ultimate Endgamers League in Fredericksburg, Virginia. Do you want to change things up with your gaming experience and go competitive or even join an esports team or even play in some awesome tournaments? Then Ultimate Endgamers League in Fredericksburg, Virginia is the perfect place for you. Ultimate Endgamers League hosts a variety of tournaments ranging from Call of Duty Warzone, Rocket League, Super Smash Bros, Mortal Kombat 11, you name it, they have almost every single tournament available. The best part about Ultimate Endgamers League is that they have teams competing for a $10,000 grand prize. So I'll leave a link in the description if you guys are ever interested in going competitive and joining an esports team. All right, back to the roster here, and it looked like it got a lot of attention, especially on Instagram, Twitter, and Reddit. A lot of people seem to love this change up from the vertical roster to the horizontal. Me personally, I am a huge fan of the horizontal layout. I've always loved it. We got it in Mortal Kombat Deception and Mortal Kombat X, and I thought to myself, hey, what would it look like if Mortal Kombat 11 changed from a vertical roster to a horizontal roster instead? The vertical roster is cool, don't get me wrong. We got a vertical roster in Deadly Alliance, we got it in Mortal Kombat 9, and obviously now in Mortal Kombat 11. If you guys want to consider Mortal Kombat Trilogy and Mortal Kombat Armageddon a vertical roster, I guess you can classify it as that. It's more of a T-shaped, but however, I guess if you want to classify it as a vertical, you can still classify it as a vertical roster. But to me personally, the horizontal roster just makes everything flow and feel more open and natural. Doesn't seem too cluttered like a vertical roster does. One of the biggest problems that I saw with Mortal Kombat 11's vertical roster was the fact that the characters seemed too cluttered together. It didn't seem like it was open, it didn't seem natural, it just seemed that everything was kind of packed in together. When you're highlighting over a specific character, it zooms in on the character's face really close, and once you select it, it's still kind of zoomed in on the character. It's not necessarily a full body, you don't get the full picture of it, and they're facing towards the roster. To me, it just seemed like it was too packed together and it could use some remaking. And that's why I decided to make this edit right here. So I got straight into GIMP or GIMP, however you want to pronounce it. It's like a free version of Photoshop, and I decided to go all out and change it to a horizontal roster. And looking at this thing right now, it just feels so much better. One thing that shocks me a lot about this roster is the fact that there looks like there's a massive amount of characters in this game, but when you put it to vertical, it looks like there's not that many at all, which is pretty funny. Another funny thing about this roster is I actually had to take out Shiva because of the fact that I wanted the 4 ninjas at the very top, and if I put in Shiva, there'd be no spot for her and it wouldn't look right. So I had to take her out. Sorry to all you Shiva mains out there. Regarding the placement of each character on this roster, I didn't really put too much effort into thinking where each character should go. The only thought that I put into this was where the 4 ninjas should go, as well as the DLC characters. With the DLC characters in Mortal Kombat X, we saw that the DLC characters were placed on the left and right hand side, just like Injustice 2. So that's exactly what I decided to do with Mortal Kombat 11. Now I know some people are going to be like, well, Rain is a DLC character, how come he's not on the left and right hand side? That's just because I wanted the 4 ninjas to be at the top. I could have just put Rain and Shiva because they were both DLC characters. I could have put them on the left and right hand side and just put Scorpion, Noob, and Sub-Zero on the top, leaving it with only 3 ninjas at the top. However, I would have to decrease the size of the icons of each character because obviously with the size that they are right now, it wouldn't fit if I put in Rain or Shiva, and it looked kind of weird with how tiny they were, so I just decided to throw Shiva out. Sorry, again, all Shiva mans, I'm so sorry that I throw her out. And I decided to put all the 4 ninjas at the very top. Moving on to the characters at the top, we have Scorpion and Sub-Zero on the left and right hand side. I think this is a perfect way to have the characters laid out when you selected your character. They're not necessarily facing each other, but you kind of get a more full body picture versus in Mortal Kombat 11 how they're more zoomed up and close. I didn't like that too much. I think this is a perfect way to have them zoomed out and you get a full image of the character. Again, with the horizontal roster and the layout, it just feels more open. It feels like there's a lot more space. It feels like you can breathe and it's not so clustered together. I do have another image and another edit that I made. It's right here of Scorpion alone, and it's more zoomed in. I think this would be a great idea for when you're highlighting over a certain character and this is before you select them. So it would kind of be more zoomed in on the character. You get a more upper body shot. I think this is much better than how Mortal Kombat 11 does when it's super zoomed in almost entirely on the face. I like this better with the upper body versus Mortal Kombat 11's full zoom up on the face. And I originally got this idea idea from going onto the camera mod made by Ermacer and the Thinny, and I decided, you know what, I don't like how the characters are so zoomed in. Let me play with some camera mod settings and let's see what we can do. And this is the video that I put up. If you guys want the full video, I'll leave a link up in the top right corner of the screen, and you can see on this video how the characters are more zoomed out when you select them versus super close how it is in Mortal Kombat 11's default character select screen roster. I like this design so much better because it just seems more open, it doesn't seem as tight and clustered together, and it seems like the characters can actually breathe and do more movement, whereas in the default screen it seems that they're super close to the roster and it seems very tight. But it's super interesting to see one tiny detail make a huge difference to the game as a whole. But let me know in the comment section below, what are your guys' thoughts? Do you prefer the horizontal layout like Mortal Kombat X, Mortal Kombat Deception, or do you guys prefer the vertical layout like Deadly Alliance and Mortal Kombat 9? Thank you guys so much for tuning into the video. I greatly appreciate it. If you guys are new, thank you guys so much. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and follow me on Instagram at The Island Boys. And if you guys are returning, thank you so much for all the support. I greatly appreciate it. And I can't wait to see you guys in the next video. Shoots.